Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Russ back again with another Madden 19 Ultimate Team episode. Let me just go ahead and give you guys full warning. I am sick and I feel like shit. So my voice and my throat are just kind of off right now. I feel like garbage. So I'm sorry if I sound kind of shitty or if I sniffle during this video. I just have a really bad cold and it sucks ass. But you guys saw we do have a new pickup today. We have Brian Dawkins, Weapon X, baby. Let's go. We end up replacing Calvin Johnson Jr. just because I got Calvin to be my new user, and then we got Bobby, and Bobby's just above everything else in this fucking game. He's absolutely incredible. So I user Bobby now. I go back to middle linebacker. So I needed a free safety that could actually, tackle, maybe? So Calvin Johnson ends up leaving. Calvin was pretty good, man. He wasn't bad. He didn't play bad by himself, but again, it's just he couldn't lay the big hit and could not tackle very well at all. He actually laid one big hit. I think it was in one of the episodes, and it was actually like a really timely big hit by him too. So I mean, Calvin Johnson played pretty good for us. We got some picks with him, but other than that, man, he didn't really do all that much. But whoa, George Fant. Okay, I see you, dude. Just trucking over people. God damn, that guy left him wide open. And George Fant has been one of the MVPs on my team ever since we've had him. You guys know our offense is not that great, so 87 overalls for us need to play well. And George Fant's played like an absolute monster. So I mean, I really have no complaints from him. And like I said, we need those guys to make plays, and he has done nothing but make plays. We do have one other pickup in this episode. We ended up getting Jalen Ramsey is right here. That was a bad read by me. I tried to read cover 2 and throw a high point, but Jerry was just never able to get off the corner. Ends up getting picked. Bad play by me, and we end up wasting our first drive after doing pretty well getting down the field. But I did get Jalen Ramsey for one big reason, and that was press. Deion Sanders just kept getting beat on press, and I was just getting annoyed, so I figured why not just move Deion to the slot. Quick sell on the Kel Roby Coleman, get like 1,600 training out of him. I can't remember who I put that into, but I did use it. And then we just went ahead and got, crap, what's his name? I just forgot it. Jalen Ramsey. There we go. Jalen Ramsey, he has 91 press, 87 speed. Obviously not the greatest speed in the world. Just throw right at me, man. Why the fuck not, by the way, as we get the pick with Bobby Wagner right there. But first and 10 back on offense, obviously, after throwing a pick and then getting a pick right back. Is right here, T.Y. Hilton has been a huge surprise on our team, man. It actually makes me want to upgrade him. He was really just a placeholder, but at 85 overall, the motherfucker gets open. I tell you that much. You guys know our offense is not that great, so when you get down on that depth chart, you get the guys like 85 T.Y., and he's played really well, man. But second and goal right here, we do end up sneaking it in. I tried to sneak it in once. The guy stopped me, but, dude, honestly, that's like the only play that I can run on the goal line. I know a lot of people like to run tosses. Tosses just don't seem to work for me. One thing I will do, I'll go into my strong formation or I form, and then put everything on aggressive, and then just try to run it into the end zone that way. But the sneak is just really OP this year, man. It is really hard to stop. So I just ended up doing it twice, and we end up getting in. Right here, I remember I accidentally forgot to put in the video. This guy started at his like 30-yard line. He had a really good kick return. My bad. That was an editing error. I meant to put that in. I kind of forgot until right now. So anyway, he ended up getting a really good kick return. Gave himself a short field. I have got to change up my kick return team because I'm pretty sure the reason I get destroyed on that all the time is because my backup linebackers are actually out of position safeties. So they just can't get off of any of those blocks or can't get off quick enough. And these guys get some crazy returns, man. But 4th and 1, I think we have him stopped in the backfield, and somehow he outraces everybody, man. We ended up playing that perfectly. I think I ran commit. Or no, maybe I didn't. No, I didn't run commit, but I did shade to that, or slant to that side, not shade. I did play to that side, and I don't know who it was, but somebody got a crazy block shit and almost got him in the backfield. Unfortunately, he ends up getting in, so 7-7, trying to do some work right here. I thought T.Y. Hilton actually caught that. Unfortunately, he did not. 2nd and 10, looking downfield. This guy, he bit a lot on these inside routes, and he almost picked that one. I should have went to Doug Baldwin on that play, but instead I go to T.Y. He almost has the pick, but we end up dodging a bullet right there. We find Doug to the 48-yard line, almost in midfield. 2nd and 2, looking with Otto Graham, and Otto Graham rolls out to his left and finds T.Y. Hilton for the first down. That was a sketchy play, man. I ended up running T.Y. across the field, and I didn't see him until way too late. Right there, I don't understand what is up with D. Do you guys see that DN stopping? Is that contains? I don't even know. I remember this play, man. We end up finding Jerry Rice all the way down the field, get him to the 17. But I rolled out, and that D lineman stopped twice. And I'm like counting my blessings again, man. I don't get it. D linemen in this game or contains are broken. I don't know if that's contains is what makes D linemen do that, but that's happened a couple times, and it's pretty stupid just seeing those guys stop like that. Right there, we actually had Jimmy Graham, but unfortunately ended up throwing it just a tad too late into the corner. And, luckily it wasn't picked, but he didn't really have a chance to pick it. But if I would have hit that a little bit earlier, probably could have cut it upfield and made it you know, at least way shorter to where we may have gone for it. But, you know, instead we end up taking our 3, which is probably the smart thing, you know, honestly. Instead of trying to go for the end zone, only tied 7 and possibly not getting it. And we know I'm not the greatest in conversions. I'm really not. 4th down, I'm not that fantastic at. As my phone goes off, that's unprofessional. But 10-7, we end up taking our lead. This guy tries to go downfield. He ends up getting it. I'm not sure who that was. 81, maybe Calvin. I don't know. 1st and 10, we end up taking down. I'm not sure who that is. Le'Veon Bell? Is that Le'Veon Bell? Who is that? Saquon Barkley, not Le'Veon Bell. Don't know why I thought that was Le'Veon Bell. But anyway, Saquon Barkley, man. I used to be scared of cards like Saquon Barkley and Bobby Wagner, Saquon Barkley and Todd Gurley. But now I have Bobby Wagner. There we go. Worded that right this time. But Bobby Wagner, he's just the only guy that can stop running backs like that. It seems like running backs would just kill me, man. If you guys heard me say it in previous episodes, it was just like, these guys could run all over me if they wanted to, but they just don't. They like to pass or whatever. I've actually run into some guys that really want to run the ball, and probably if they were facing me before I had Bobby Wagner, they could have ran it pretty damn well on me. But Bobby Wagner does not get spun out. I mean, I'm just going nuts on this card. But he's insane, man. I mean, he makes my defense so much better right there. I completely miss with Sean Taylor, man. I don't know what is up with my click-ons, but it's just bad. But right here, we end up forcing the fumble. Jamal Adams, man, 95 hit power. That's why we got him, man. That's why we spent all that training on him. I really want to get him to his team of the year, like 96 overall, man. That'd be like 96 speed on that fucking card. But anyway, man, Jamal Adams, he's played like an absolute monster. Ends up forcing the fumble. Frank Clark recovers right there. We hit Josh Hill, our 3rd tight end, for a 1st down. 1st and 10. Trying to run with Ricky, or no, not trying to. I even caught myself on that play action, but unfortunately nothing's open. We end up throwing it all the way across the field to use check. I don't know why Iraq caught that. That's probably why he just backed out of bounds. If I would have just chilled for a second, I probably could have just caught it and maybe got like 5 or 6 yards. But you know what? Doesn't really matter. 1st and goal. We're trying to run the ball and just not really able to do it with Ricky. 7 rushes for over 20 yards. 2nd and goal. Trying to get in again, and Ricky fights his way into the end zone for a 5-yard rushing touchdown, and that does put us up 17-10 in this game. I just gotta say, this was actually a really fun game to play, by the way, man. This was like a real back and forth fucking... I feel like we were on the same skill level, really. I mean, we were fighting back and forth. I mean, this was a real mutt game, if I can put it that way. You know, the fake mutt games, you guys know what I mean. You know, where those plays happen, like constantly. Those are bad mutt games. This was actually a good one. I felt like me and this dude both played pretty well. And, you know, both of us played to each other's strengths, I feel. Because this guy wanted to run the ball. He just couldn't. I wanted to pass the ball. I was actually able to do it with, you know, some success, but I did end up turning to the run later, just because a lot of my pass plays just weren't working on this dude. But 3rd and 7, we end up getting the sack with Deion Sanders, and I really don't know why. We had a really good game going, but this guy does end up quitting. 4th and 17, this guy has stopped me before, or he could have just gone for it if he wanted to. If he was going to quit, I don't know why he wouldn't try to go for it, but unfortunately, he does end up quitting. We do end up getting the win, obviously, 17-10, so that's awesome, but I did want to go ahead and finish that game out. Kind of sucks the guy exited early, but you know what? Still a good game nonetheless. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We got Weapon X, we got Jalen Ramsey, a couple big additions to our defense. I don't think they both really did anything in this episode, but you guys can definitely look forward to them making some plays later. Jamal Adams, that guy's a beast. So you guys need a strong safety. Go get Jamal Adams. That guy's so fast, and he hits like a goddamn hammer. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, I'm out. Peace.